right. Hey, everyone. I'm sitting here pressing buttons in the back, so you're going to have to bear with me today. We got new buttons and new things on our screen, so Deb Cruz and I got to catch up with the times. That's what happens when you skip 2 weeks. Things change. Here we are catching up, but it's all good. I'm trying to post to the other groups real quick. Thanks for being with us for our TokiTV, our gathering for Scully Chestnut's Legacy each and every week. Gosh, it's almost the end of the year, and I know everyone's getting busy and wrapping presents and last minute shopping and all that kind of stuff, but there are still things that you guys can do, which is why we're here today, because we know it's a busy time. But for anyone who watches now or watches later, there's actions we can take, guys, before the end of the year, before the end of the week, before the end of the day, if you're so inspired. And I really just sometimes it could be so much. So we're going to highlight a few today that we think are, they're all important, but we're going to highlight a few today and then we'll highlight some more next week. But let's go around the room and just check in with everyone. As you can tell, I'm very busy in my mind. That's how I am today. Deb Cruz says, "How are you?" And I was like, busy. I don't know if it's good or bad, but I'm just busy. But I'm well, and I'm here with you guys, and I missed you guys over the last couple of weeks, so I'm happy to be here. Let's check in. Ma, how are you?
Yeah, all good, thanks. Just busy. As you say, I think everybody I speak to is busy. So, but yeah, bees are really important. These things we've still got to concentrate on. So really glad to be here with you all.
I'm really glad you're here. Deb Cruz, what is happening with you?
Life. It's busy. It's a roller coaster. The one nice thing is I love winter, and so it's not just Christmas, but it's all of the different holidays and celebrations and the changing of the sunlight, the sunrises, the sunsets, because the days get shorter, especially up here in Washington State. Sun doesn't come out till 8 o'clock in the morning and goes down by 4 o'clock in the afternoon. It's kind of the reverse of our summer days. So waiting for some snow, hopefully. I know a lot of people are going to shudder when this happens, but
send it.
So it's
Florida.
So it's just getting the winter decorations up and stuff like that.
That's fun stuff. Holiday-y, cold, fun stuff.
Yep.
Alma, how are you? Not in snow.
No, we have a cold front, so it's chilly. I got a sweater on. Ma, I bet it's cold up there for you too. Yeah, happy solstice.
Yeah.
Happy solstice, everybody. Good to be here.
Thanks for being here, Brandy. How's it going?
Hi, it's good. It's good. Back in California after a month in Canada, and just really happy to be here. You know, busy, same thing, busy, but it's good to see everyone. I've missed everyone a lot.
Thanks for being here. Some good news, right? This week, everyone, Center for Whale Research post. I'm just going to read from this. The Center for Whale Research has been made aware that a new calf has been seen traveling with J-Pod as of December the 20th. J-Pod's been in the Puget Sound area for the past several days now, which is outside of our normal research range. The calf was potentially seen traveling with J35, guys. But Center for Whale researchers have not been able to be on the water yet to have their first encounter with the new calf to confirm. It often takes multiple encounters for the research team to assess these whales, assign a designation for the new whale, and confidently determine who the mother of the calf is. Thank you to all who shared their stories, photos, and videos with Center for Whale Research and others who are celebrating this new birth. While we do not have much more information to share at this time, we're looking forward to our next encounter with J-Pod to officially announce the calf and mother's identification. As always, guys, the southern resident killer whale population needs ample access to their food supply. mainly salmon, to survive and thrive. Every single bird counts, and these whales need enough fish to be able to support themselves and their calves. We continue to advocate for salmon recovery through habitat restoration, removal of dam, and rational management of fisheries in the Pacific Northwest. Learn more about research and how you can act. I'm going to read that real quick. And how you can act for the sake of the southern resident population, visit our website at the link below. I really, really, really encourage people to go to the Center for Whale Research website, to the actual page. So it's www.whaleresearch.com. And then there's an action page that's, we'll probably talk about some of those actions today too. That is a website we definitely want to highlight today. We're going to be highlighting a few for you guys to continue to do research. And then I'll say this now and I'll say it again at the end. Also, good news is we're going to have John Carlos Frey on with us next week to talk about The Snake and the Whale. So the much anticipated film that we've had John on at the very, very beginning during fundraising stages, and then also during production stages. And then he's going to come on and talk to us next Sunday about where they are with the film and next steps and all that good stuff. So, yeah, so that's pretty exciting. A couple exciting things I wanted to share. Also exciting. So there's good news too, right? There's always actions to do, but there's good news too. Paul Watson was released from last week. So we're all very, very thankful. All the prayers are much appreciated, that I know some of us on this screen specifically have been doing, and all the actions from everywhere. France, especially, those guys are just all the pages I'm connected with. You just see the Paul Watson Foundation. So really, really thankful that he gets to be home with his children for the holidays. So thankful about that. Now let's get to some things I'm not so thankful for, but there's actions we can do to address them. So Alma, I'm going to hand this to you. What in the heck is going on, and why is the Miami Seaquarium still in operation?
Well, after receiving almost 30,000 signed petitions in March, the mayor gave them an eviction notice. I'm sure everyone heard about that. And everyone was excited, and we're trying to figure out where all the animals are going to go. They currently still have 18 bottlenose dolphins, numerous California sea lions, harbor seals, penguins, birds. There's a lot of animals still there. And last I heard, they didn't really have a veterinarian on staff that was maybe the time that they're allowed to be on wasn't enough for the amount of animals, so they're not being cared for properly. A lot of bad news coming out of Miami Seaquarium about the treatment of the animals. They've been cited numerous times by the USDA. We all know that. It's been happening for decades. And so they went in front of the judge in Miami. This was in March. And the judge put a stay on the eviction notice, and they had to go to mediation. And I think they went to mediation. They started the end of October. And I haven't heard any news out of what's going on with that. But meanwhile, we can be writing to the mayor's office, to the USDA, and to National Marine Fisheries Service. DolphinProject.com has put together a nice action page for Miami Seaquarium specifically. I would disregard the current petition they have on there because I believe that's from March. I would scroll down to the actions with Miami. It says Miami-Dade Council. Yeah, I would scroll past that. Okay, so I guess it's up. Sorry. A little further up. I think there's maybe a take action page from there. Anyway, you can write to the agencies listed here. It's basically 3 agencies. They also have a, I think, Miami-Dade Fire Rescue, because the Seaquarium was in violation of some fire code. Okay, see how you can help. And then if you click on some of like the Miami-Dade Council Mayor's Office, I would do the ones on the right, unless, we're here to speak for those who can't speak for themselves. The ones on the left are more about the fire code violations that they also are in code compliance. Failed some of those things. So anyway, write to the agencies, ask why Miami Seaquarium is continually allowed to operate with substandard conditions, and request that the marine mammals at the facility be retired. I would also list all the souls there, the birds, the penguins, all of them deserve a better life than they're experiencing right now.
Yeah.
Thank you. I know Ma has some feelings about that. I don't know, Ma, is there anything you want to share or urge people take a screenshot?
I just think that, if we concentrate on those areas that Alma's just pointed out, I think that's the best way to handle it, because it needs, as with everything else, it needs volume. And, we are the ones that speak for the voiceless, but how on earth they're still open, I will never know. I really don't know, because the last time I went, it was horrendous then. So it's beyond me how they can get away with it, to be quite honest. But it's up to us. We're the ones that can make a difference. So yeah, I'll be doing exactly that. Thanks, Alma.
And someone was asking, gosh, are they still living open, and are people still paying to go there? Unfortunately, they are. I know that there's not a lot of people, but they are now, I think, only open, if I'm not mistaken, Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays. But it looks like they're open the December 26th through 29th, December 30th and 31st. And then again, January 4th through 5th. So, kudos to the people who go out there every single weekend, still continuously protesting against this place. It's just absolutely ridiculous. But I just went to their site, and I won't show it on the live because they don't deserve that. But it does look like they're still selling tickets, discounted tickets, and practically begging people to go. There's just, to me, it's just outrageous that USDA has not stepped in to do something. I mean, and Ma had a good point earlier. We were talking offline. Just they should have been doing something for a bazillion years. Old owners, new owners, all of it, and they're not. And so again, if you want to take a screenshot of this, see, Alma and Deb need a smile if people take a screenshot of this. I'm just kidding. Yeah, take a screenshot of that so that you guys have the addresses. Write them, you guys. Please write to them. Go to those websites. Take a screenshot, guys. Everybody, want to take a screenshot or a picture of the screen. The top I cut off the top, but that's the Miami-Dade's mayor's office. You can write there. And USDA, that's the one I'm going to be writing over and over and over and over. National Marine Fisheries as well. So thank you all for bringing that action to our attention today. And like she said, I was showing bits and pieces of it, but the Dolphin Project web page we talked about today, how we're going to be highlighting different web pages. This is definitely one that you guys want to go to. Lots of actions, not just on Seaquarium, but lots of actions. So you go here to take action, and you'll see all the actions that they have. That you guys can take part of. And I guess, of course, we are highlighting the one today for the Miami Seaquarium. So I hope everyone's writing down what they're going to be doing for the next week, because lots to do. Howard, I kind of jumped ahead. I wanted you to be the one to announce the J-Pod calf, but I went ahead and read the post from Center for Whale Research. Is there anything you want to add to that?
Okay, good. Well, sorry I missed the first part of the broadcast. I was engrossed in conversations that I couldn't drop, but happy to be here. And well, I think it's just a cause for celebration. The presumed mom, of course, is J35 Tahlequah, who has had this very tragic history from 2018 when her newborn died at birth, and she carried her deceased baby around for 17 days and gathered the attention of the world in her tour of grief, as Ken called it. And he was heavily affected by that. But since then, if this is the mom, yet to be confirmed by the Center for Whale Research until they've had a couple of more encounters to confirm that's who the baby is with, which points out that there's a lot of babysitting, a lot of sharing of responsibilities for the newborns. That's how they arrange it, how they raise their young. It takes a village, and so we can't be positive that Tahlequah is the mom yet, but it looks like she is, and it's a wonderful thing that she's now had two calves since then, and so that's something to celebrate. And they're down there right now. I've gotten 2 alerts this morning that they're just on the other side of Whidbey Island from me and into the possession triangle where whales can get lost for days at a time. So they're down there, but they're only there because there's lots of chum. There's lots of fish for them to eat. And so they are dining, they are feasting. And so that's a good sign. And hopefully that little baby is getting plenty of nutrition.
Yeah, please go. Yeah.
Yeah, that's about all I have to add to that, except unless another alert comes and I have a further update.
I love the live updates. So interrupt us if you get some, for sure.
Yeah.
All right.
One of the things Brandy wanted to talk about, and it kind of goes hand in hand with what Alma's talking about. Like, there's these animals need somewhere to go.
Well, I had thought that the county, which owns the zoo, had already made arrangements last, March or so, for all except the dolphins to go to the zoo and be cared for in the best way that they could, at least. So I assume that the plans are made. I don't know what the plans would be for the dolphins, though, and so that's a huge issue. So much disagreement about what can be done, about their capabilities to eventually, after rehabilitation and phasing their return, whether they could go back to the ocean. So that'll be problematic, no doubt. But of course, they're all still owned by the dolphin company, by the laws of property. So they will be able to decide what to do
It's
with
just,
dolphins.
and I
If
know
the
this is kind of, raising some stuff but people don't take care of their children. They can have their children taken away. I don't understand why this has not happened. And yeah, it's this, to me, it's the same thing. There's animals being abused and neglected.
Yeah.
And
They
it's
are.
freaking outrageous. And there's plans. You're right. But we're past the planning thing, man. They need to get on it. So I know that's just, me on my frustration, but seriously, especially for all those animals that there are plans for, get them out, get them cared for. And then, we are talking about, the dolphins and not at this aquarium, but in other places, the orcas. These animals need to have somewhere to go, and sanctuaries are the way to do it. Brandy, I'll let you talk about the one you want to talk about, and then we'll talk about other potentials as well. I'll turn it over to you.
So Double Bay is, just about ready. They got a lot of stuff completed over the summer. I know that they have done water testing. I was at their gathering right after Thanksgiving, just talking about where they're at. Nicolette, that's there the entire season, when it is in season, was there for quite a long time. And then she just left, I think, just a few weeks ago. But the rest of the work and construction and anything else that's going on, they're staying through the winter. They want to get this up and ready. The plan is they want to bring Corky back to that sanctuary. I think it's an 18-acre open netted pen with the fishing, an old refurbished fishing lodge. So I mean, that's the biggest thing. It's I think we've got that sanctuary, and then I know you were talking about up in Nova Scotia, and yeah, it's like if these can get rolling and we can actually make some things happen, maybe a precedent can be set that would force places like Laurel Park and SeaWorld San Diego. I think the toughest thing about is that San Diego just won't, they won't speak to them. They won't talk to them. They've shut down and kind of stonewalled them about, retiring Corky and bringing her back, to her natal waters with a companion. And unfortunately, in San Diego, Corky is the only whale that came from the captures. The rest of them have all been born in captivity, but there's two that she's very closely bonded with. So I think that's the biggest thing, is making, the awareness, making that noise, and hopefully, here's right here, they're showing this was just done in August. So they went and they've been checking the water's really clean, for contaminants, this and that. They're just making sure that they'll have, a place for her to come. And I think the whole process of what Double Bay wants to do is say, hey, SeaWorld, we want you to bring your staff here. Your staff can still care for her. She will still be, technically your property, but, let's retire her, bring her back with a companion, and you can monetize on that, because we all know that SeaWorld is about their money, and so it would be better to see her in, where she comes from, and to see the care that would go into that, and learn and understand, about killer whales and their intelligence and their familiar bonds, and that they're led by, there's so many people that don't know, even about the southern residents and the northern residents, that they're fish eaters, so fingers crossed. I know that they're going to try, and also they started collaboration with some of the First Nations last year in getting personhood on her, and going that route as well to, get some things going. But the main thing is, I always tell people, go to doublebaysanctuary.org, and you can join their little newsletter if you want to, and you can look and see what action steps. Right now, it's pretty much, right to SeaWorld. Mark Swanson, who's the CEO, send them a letter. Maybe if all of us make enough noise, but I think that's going to be the biggest things is if we can get these sanctuaries rolling and we can get these whales, like even from, Laurel Park, and out in France, get them retired to a sanctuary, then maybe we can create momentum where people will be like, okay, let's get more sanctuaries up and rolling, because they do take a while. Yeah, and there's Double Bay. It's out in a pod. Who Corky comes from spends a lot of time in that area, and they even said that she would be able to hear them vocalize.
So, did anyone by chance watch the Whale Sanctuary Project's end of year report a couple days ago? I think it was on Thursday. I just caught up with it last night. I encourage you guys to look it up. You can look it up on their Facebook page. So go to Whale Sanctuary Project. And because the Marineland France is going to be closing right in January. So, so right now I know the two that they're in talks with Whale Sanctuary Project, and then there's some conversation. I don't know if it's rumor or not. I'm not going to pretend I know, but that they're also looking at Laurel Park in Spain, and they have a horrible history of animal rights violations. So, we're hoping it's Whale Sanctuary Project. I know people have their feelings about it, about the Whale Sanctuary Project in general, but you guys, this is like a top-notch, facility that's being built, and so it is taking a long time, and it is taking time, and I know that's frustrating for people, but this will be the standard. This will be the gold standard, a high standard for sanctuaries, for orcas, for belugas, if we can help get them off the ground. So if you're feeling generous, that's another great organization that I myself am going to support, because in from what I know, unless someone else knows something else, there's not another one that's almost close to being done. So that is where I will be supporting Double Bay. Absolutely. We had Michael Reppy on last year, and it's ready. But I believe that one is specifically for Corky. I don't know if they're open to taking other whales or not. I'm not going to pretend that I know, but maybe we can get another visit from him to come on and talk to us and just see if there's any other openings for that. But yeah, I encourage you to just like I said, I'm not going to pretend I know everything about the end of year thing. It's an hour long Zoom, but it's recorded, and I encourage you guys to just go watch it at least and see where they're at, what they're up to, what their plans are, what they're hoping for, and then decide whether that's an organization you want to support. But talking about actions and Miami Aquarium, I think is all near and dear to our heart. But SeaWorld, it never stop writing and spreading information and joining a protest or doing some signs or something. These animals is just so far, so far from. It's I don't know what I'll say about that, but so thank you, Brandy, because a lot of people say, well, free them, let them go to sanctuary. We got to have a sanctuary. Have a sanctuary.
Yeah.
Howard, anything you want to say about that? About sanctuaries? Anything?
Well, it's I really hope it works. Double Bay is a beautiful place, and they've got accommodations. They've got it all worked out there. Exactly where she would go. You need the staffing and all that, and so there's details definitely to be worked out. But it'd be beautiful if that could happen. I don't think that it would work out for the whales at Marineland in France to go there, because you have to consider the cultural discord, of having a pod there and the northern residents to have any other whales in their range would be it could be disruptive. It could be a problem. That's a concern that we have in the San Juans. There were meetings about having a sanctuary in the San Juan Islands, and that was the main objection, was that would be whales that are foreign to the southern residents, and that could be disruptive. So that's a concern. I didn't tune in on that summary from WSP about their Nova Scotia sanctuary. I'm curious about where they are. I know there are
Well,
so many obstacles.
Mary English said she watched, and they seem very optimistic about 2025. They did, yeah. When that was the impression I got too, is they seem very optimistic about summer months of 2025, because someone had asked questions about the temperature of the water and how they would adjust, and of course, if they are going to do it, they'll be working with Mainland France, and to start dropping temperature. But they also mentioned that the goal for summer of 2025 would be so that they could come during the summer, so that they could actually gradually get used to it as well. And they can grow blubber, and they can, all of these things. So Marino was basically saying there's no proof that they cannot. And but that was one of the considerations for the summer. But they seem they have like the whole plan, right? And then they have the like urgent plan if
Right.
needed. And it's still, so maybe they don't have the lodges and everything built. Maybe they have the trailers brought in. Like Charles did talk about some stuff like that. Like, so they have some contingency plans. Like if all the funding is not there for the big, they could be operational, and they seemed really optimistic about being able to be operational summer of 2025.
That's very good to hear. I'll have to tune in. I'm sure it's recorded and I can hear it somewhere. But that they're willing to bring them there without all the infrastructure. They want to have, like they say, the gold standard of, interpretation center, lodging for all the staff, and everything else. But from the whales' point of view, what they need is the water, just to get into the water, and of course to be able to be cared for. But that's not a really big project. It wouldn't be a whole lot different in terms of just feeding them, giving them at least veterinary examinations, making sure that there's no great need, and having vets available if they need them. So it shouldn't be a huge obstacle if they're willing to move the whales there before they have the whole infrastructure built. So that's good to hear.
Yeah, I think you should watch it, Howard. It was seemed optimistic, and that's good.
All right.
Awesome.
Sounds good.
Right. So I'm trying to get YouTube up and running on a different computer. So if you see me looking away, I'm not ignoring you guys. I'm just trying to, because Facebook people can click on links, but YouTube can't. So I'm going to try to put them on YouTube as well. I'm managing multiple things going on.
Okay.
But Ma, because some of the stuff Ma is going to talk about, I have some links for. So Ma, I'm going to turn it over to you.
Okie dokie, or okie dokie, I should say. Okay, so I wanted to talk about the Washington State Rec and Conservation Office, and they're actually requesting people to do a survey on their website, and it's to determine recreational interests and opportunities in and along the Snake River, the lower Snake River. This is if it should return to a free-flowing state. The survey is intended to capture insights on current and potential future recreation activities, preferences, and accessibility needs. The deadline is January the 12th, but the sooner, they're asking the sooner, the better that we all do it. And also, it's basically everything is there that we need to know. And I'll just read a small section of the write-up. It's saying why this matters. Because of the 4 Lower Snake River dams, today the Lower Snake River offers very limited access and activities due to its hot, stagnant reservoirs, toxic algae blooms, severely imperiled native fish, and a struggling surrounding ecosystem. On the other hand, the benefits of a restored dam-free Lower Snake River would be enormous for our region, including opportunities for people to experience a thriving ecosystem and healthy water. Tribal cultural sites, restoration, protection and education, and significantly expanded recreation outdoor activities such as fishing, boating, biking, rafting, kayaking, birding, I'm not going to say hunting, and much, much more. The survey provides an opportunity to share your vision and priorities for a healthy, restored river and what that means to you for your community, your home, and or your business. Now, it gives an action link and a survey link, and it also gives a space for you to share your personal vision for the Lower Snake River dams. There's lots of information on there, and there's also messaging guidance, which I found really helpful. It's really common sense, guys, when you go on there, even if you've never visited the area. You know, imagine that this was in your region, your district, and what you would like to see being restored to your community or your, ecosystem. And that's how I answered most of the questions, that if this was on my doorstep, what would I want to see? And of course, you guys all know what I want to see is those dams down, that simmer, that salmon, flowing, and the orcas being able to eat again. But not just the orcas, we all know again the 137 other species that depend on that salmon as well. What I did notice in the survey, which I found it quite uplifting, to be honest, because it was asking about, what would you like to see? Would you like to see, kayaking available? What they're thinking about is creating jobs. So they're obviously now looking at this seriously, not just, oh, well, we need to bring the Snake River dams because of the orca and the salmon not being free. They're looking at it as an opportunity, I think, now, which is what people seem to have missed in the past, as far as I know. So can I ask you all, please, to go to the link, I think, that Annette's got, and it's, as I say, everything's on it. You can also visit Imagining.
Just
Okay.
so you know.
Yeah, great. Okay, thanks, Annette. There's also another link which is attached in that that document, which is called Imagining a New Future for the Lower Snake River by Save Our Wild Salmon. And that gives you a ton of information, and even, how to answer the questions. So it's a long document, but it's really worth doing because, we've got till January the 12th to do it. So if we can all do that, and we can all continue to do this and write our postcards and letters to President Biden, and even after, we need to just keep going. It doesn't matter which president, we need to keep going because they need us. The orcas need us. The wildlife needs us, and we can't stop. So please, if you can do just those two things over Christmas, it'd be great.
Thanks, Ma. The link, guys, that she's talking about to this, what you're seeing on Imagining the New Future, it's the one
Yeah.
that I posted in the chat. It starts with story maps.
Yeah.
That's what this link is, and so I encourage you guys again, or take a screenshot now, so that you have that, so you know what you're looking for when you go in. But that first link I did, the big giant long one, that has all these links inside of it.
Yeah.
So I hope that doesn't make it too complicated. And then I also put the actual survey link separate as well. So if you don't have time to go in and read them, or you won't do that later, the actual link there for the Survey Monkey one, I think is posted there as well. So you guys can just click on that link and do the survey from there. It's pretty easy to do.
Great.
And then Madi, I don't know, there was another website as well that we want to highlight, right? Try to find it.
Was
here.
that the angle? I've filled in so many petitions.
No, it's good.
I don't know which one I've done and which one.
I'll show you. This one, the Save Our Wild Salmon.
Yeah. Thanks. Yeah. So that is from Save Our Wild Salmon, as you can see, and they are asking that we basically contact the senators and continue to contact the Biden administration to restore the Lower Snake River. But I think more importantly now, the fact that I hope I'm right in saying this, that there are new senators going to be in place, that now we need to contact them as well. And we can do that through Save Our Wild Salmon with the information that Annette's got on the screen.
Yep, you could do it right from there.
Yep. So there's lots and lots.
New senators, new governor, Howard. What do we have going on in Washington that people can do as an action? Who should they be writing to?
Well, our new governor is Bob Ferguson, who has been Attorney General for many years and has been very aggressive and very environmental. He's a good guy, and we've talked to him and to his environmental specialist in his office, and I think they'll help as much as they can. Of course, the Snake River dams are federal dams, so the governor doesn't have any direct say in that, but could be important in terms of building a coalition. The contingency of the senators and the federal reps and the governor would be a very strong voice to do that. To bring down the Snake River dams. I think he'll be on board when that time comes. We need to write to him and find out, who are his environmental people. I don't know how many will carry over from Inslee to Ferguson. So we'll see how that office develops in the next couple of months. And that should be someone we write to. But Patty Murray really is the key here. Senator Murray, she is very senior and has been very non-committal about the Snake River dams for a long time. And I think I'm preparing a letter to send to her that we should put on the website, our new website, and hopefully it'll be educational, it'll be persuasive, and she'll see the need to do something. And if she turned, and endorsed the removal of the dams, as the National Marine Fisheries Service has, as the Department of Interior has, as so many organizations and biologists. The whole scientific community has endorsed removal of those dams. So it's kind of a no-brainer for her to, go along with that program, to see the truth, the wisdom in doing that, and hopefully that'll convince her to come along. If she did, I'm quite sure that Maria Cantwell, the other senator who is junior to her, so isn't going to get out ahead of her, but would follow her lead and would also support removal. And then the governor would too, I'm quite sure. So she is really the key. And we'll work on that.
Can I just ask, has anything like this Washington State recreation and conservation ever been put to the public before? Because I took that as really positive, that, asking for the public's opinion as that what they would want to see, if the dams were removed.
Right.
I took that as a really positive move, if you like. So I wondered, is this the first time that that's ever been discussed?
Well, I think it adds to the momentum. It just, and to put it on the table, to conduct the surveys, to ask the public to weigh in and talk about what they see as the future of the Snake River. That's a very good sign. I think it means that they're mulling over the possibilities and can see that the public is asking for this, for it to happen, and they're wanting to get that on record.
Yeah.
And that it'll be interesting. I wonder, I haven't seen when the results will be published, but I would really like to see that, and I'm sure it will weigh in heavily on removal of the dams. So that will add. There's a whole lot of momentum right now.
Good.
The Fisheries Service, the Department of Interior, so many more that have turned around just in the last 2 years for Fisheries Service, and that to me, it adds up to political momentum, that you need to be on the right side of history. This is going to happen. And I
agree. I think that, when they start mentioning about jobs, what you'd like to see there, and talking about the tourism side of it, I think that, that's the flag for me, because that's in Florida. It's always about tourism. It's always about money. That's what comes first, and we all know that, especially with SeaWorld and obviously Miami Seaquarium. But if they're thinking that way, I think that it's a really good sign. And we've got till January the 12th or sooner to get our opinions in. So.
And I just remembered something Scott Levy had mentioned to me, which is to ask new Governor Ferguson to purchase 12 miles of railroad track, which would complete the line from Lewiston down to Tri-Cities, which is where the barging is done right now, so that the barging would become unnecessary, because the rail lines would be complete and they could definitely carry that grain without having to dam the rivers. So that is something that we should think about.
Yeah, that's it. That's as important, isn't it? That's as important.
Yeah.
So we can perhaps, put him on the list as well. I think we're going to be busy.
Thanks for that. Howard, and it seems like so many things that this seems like the answers can be so simple, and it's just,
I know.
money and
Yeah.
corruption and that kind of stuff, which kind of just leads me into, I want to just remind everyone that next week we're going to be talking about the snake and the whale. John Carlos Frey will be on with us, and where that film just exposes it and spells it out like so blatantly,
Wow.
how unnecessary these dams are, and just what they're doing to our environment and why people are so stuck on keeping them. So we'll not give too much away, but John Carlos Frey will be on with us next Sunday to give us an update about the film and the process with all that.
Well, I think an important thing to keep in mind is that from what I have read, $25 billion has been spent to mitigate the harm done by the dams to the salmon. Incredible, heroic efforts, if you look at it that way, to move the smolts down by truck, by barge, and by spill, more spill so that they're not going through the turbines, and it hasn't worked. But that 25 billion is in a way the problem, because that has been flooded into the community, into the economy of the Tri-Cities and Lewiston area. And that's a huge incentive to keep the dams, because there's this gravy train of money coming into the region. And so that needs to be pointed out as, a big part of the problem is, all this mitigation money that doesn't work except to buy support for keeping the dams. So
Crazy.
that's got to be looked at.
Yeah.
Wild. It's wild. Marcia did lots of homework. I'm sorry, Marcia. But she couldn't be on with us. And so I thought we'd have a lot more time, but I do want to just, she did her research on the Alaskan industry, the trawlers. And so she does have some information, though, on her website. And so that's another one I want to be able to highlight for folks. If you go to marciahentondavis.org, she's got Toki's story there. And then towards the bottom, she talks about the projects that are near and dear to her heart, and this is one of them. I did talk to David Bays, just so you guys know, he is going to be coming on beginning of the year as well. He's the one who runs and manages the Stop Alaskan Trawler Bycatch page on Facebook. If you have not been there, please go there. It's Stop Alaskan Trawler Bycatch. It's a public group. They got 40,000 members. Sharing a lot. They've just like doubled in their members too, which is really good. Looks like recently. So over the last year or so. So bringing attention to the Alaskan industry for trawl, and it's a bycatch. I mean, it's just outrageous. Right now, I believe it's Earth Justice that has a lawsuit going against them, trying to get them to I hope I don't mess this up. Trying to get them to release the photos of the bycatch, some of orcas, and many, many other animals that are caught in these horrible bottom trawlers. I mean, it's just disgusting what they're doing to the ocean. Absolutely disgusting.
There's a little thing too.
Randy's showing some stuff there. I want to show you guys the websites, though, to Oceana and also... I'm trying to get it up there. And also Earth Justice, because these are the two organizations that are really, really hitting this pretty hard. So go check out Oceana, Protecting the World's Oceans. And that is oceana.org, Deb Cruz, if you can quickly type that in, OCEANA.org. And that's a good website for you guys to go check out. So oceana.org. And then I will.
Do you want to repeat that?
Sure. It's. I lost it. Let me go back. OCEANA.org. So you guys want to check that out. And then you also want to check out earthjustice.org. And these are two other organizations. And this one, like I said, is currently suing the trawling industry for to release photos, at least of all the bycatch. And so go to Marcia's website, marciahenton.org. She's got more information on there, links to the pages. And again, David Bays, he's been on with us before. Super knowledgeable at the top of his head. He's like our Howard with the trawl industry, because Howard, you're our guru. But David Bays knows all about what's going on with the trawl industry. And so he's traveling through the beginning of the year, but he plans to be on TokiTV as well the beginning of the year. So that'll be another good show for us to watch. And then Brandy, you were showing some things?
Oh, yes, I have. Here, I put them. Also, through salmonstate.org, if you want to get information to get involved, they will send you.
Oh,
I have this on the back of my car.
Oh yeah.
Can you read? Was that a no-no? Was I not supposed to do that?
No, Deb Cruz and I keep pressing the same button, so we're messing everything up.
Oh my god! And then I'm like, what's going on? And then so I have one of these on the back of my car, and people ask me a lot. So I had messaged. His name is Ryan Astelos. He's on Stop Bycatch. That's how David had like recommended him, because he had shown these. And then there's also, he asked me, do you want petition information, handouts, stickers? I'm like, all of them. He goes, just make a donation to the salmonstate.org bycatch. So this is really cool, because it just basically talks about all the bycatch, gives us the numbers for 2023, and then who you can contact as far as, who can change the status quo other than, us making a bunch of noise, and who we need to get in touch with. It's a big thing. And there's even postcards they'll send you. Yeah, it's pretty cool. So yeah, that's what that was.
Awesome. And I put that there at the bottom too. So again, that's salmonstate.org /bycatch, which we had on there from the time when we had David, but the donation page. Yeah, guys, go make a donation and then ask them. They'll send you all kind of stuff.
Yeah. This is, he sent me a huge envelope. I think I made there's so much stuff. There's big stickers, little stickers, up you name it, it's in there.
Lastly, before we close, I can't highlight websites without highlighting Peggy's. And so cetaceans.org, you guys, cetaceans.org, go there. I'm going to bring it up. I'm going to show you how easy peasy this is. Let's see. All right, let me add that to the screen here. Okay, so when you go to cetaceans.org, there's all this stuff. Zero home support. There's information on cetaceans. My computer's running a little slow, weird. Resources. But you go to this take action page. And for Toki's family, there's a bunch of stuff, guys. All of this is important. Maui dolphins, the Iceland whaling. You go to the southern resident killer whales here. And you scroll down, it gives you all the information that you need. Gives you the addresses, who to write to, who to talk to. And then there's this activist pack. I hope you guys are seeing what I'm seeing. Yeah,
Yes,
you are.
I am.
Okay. Yep. I had to just actually check. Okay. So you download this pack. And I don't know if it's going to let me open it while we're on screen here. Yep. Okay. So, okay. Can you guys see that? Oh,
Yep.
Shoot.
Oh,
And
no more.
hold on.
Hold on.
I got too happy. I was pressing all the buttons. I have to do that again. Dang it. Okay.
I didn't.
It wasn't you this time. Okay, we're gonna try that smooth move again. Let me see. So when you and let me open this up in my email. And now I'm gonna share this and bring it on stage. Okay, here we go. So this is the instructions for the activist pack. And it tells you what's in the activist pack. right? But this download is just all here. You click download and everything you need, you guys, is there. Tells you how to do fun things, take a selfie, where to post it on social media. I mean, this website is just perfect. And this activist pack is amazing. And then I'm also going to show you, because she sent me this before. Here's the important thing. So you guys, this might be little, but go ahead and let me hide my head. Okay, go ahead and take a screenshot of that. These are the important lines that you lower, Deb. There we go. Line 1, super, super important, right? I'm asking you to please use your executive power as your lasting legacy to breach the 4 lower snake dams to save the critically endangered southern resident killer whales and Chinook salmon. NOAA scientists have confirmed this action as essential to saving the species. So you guys write that in there. I know everyone's like, it's the end of the year, it's the end of the term. Yes, I know that. I'm familiar with how the government works, but I'm also familiar how miracles work. So don't stop writing, please. Don't stop writing to him, please. So send those, and yeah, we got time. We got time. We got time at the end of the year. We can help save, hopefully, the animals there at the Miami Sea Aquarium by just taking a few more actions, a few more letters, a few more phone calls. Call the mayor's office. Call him. I call him all the time. But yeah, keep calling and putting pressure there in that way. And it's not like pressure because, oh, it has to go our way. It's pressure because these animals have to be cared for. It's enough. It's just enough. The trawler industry, do what you can do, support Earth Justice, support Oceana, support the Stop Alaskan Trawler Bycatch page. That was hard to say fast. Because they're just destroying the oceans. You guys are just, it's outrageous. And please, please, please never stop advocating to remove the 4 lower Snake River dams. Toki's family is dependent on that, and future generations are dependent on our actions. So we can't get lazy, and it gets overwhelming, but we can't get lazy. Any final words from you, our guru, Howard, Professor Howard?
Except that our blessings to J-Pod is down there feasting on chum right now, apparently, and with the new baby. And so let's keep them in our hearts and in our thoughts. Blessings to you all. Wonderful people.
You guys have a good Christmas. Again, next week,
Yeah, that too.
John Carlos Frey. I'm super, super excited about that. Ma, hopefully you get a hold of Momoa, one of them, hopefully the real one.
Momoa number
I'm
9.
still trying. Really am. I started off really liking this guy, and now I'm like, oh no.
Well, I think it's going to be perfect timing. I mean, we talked about that. We talked about the guitar and getting to him at the right time. Maybe he gets that in his hands right when this website is launched and right when this film is released. And again, the hope is to get that seen as soon as possible to as big of an audience as possible. It's really important.
Yeah, I think so. I think now's the time. Yeah.
All right, guys. We'll see you next Sunday. Have a beautiful afternoon. Go Dolphins. Alma, are you going to jump on and watch the game? Yep. All right. See you guys.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.